Hello everybody, Flea Films here with another video, and this one is about Kaneda's Bike from Akira, a movie from 1988 or 1989. It was a Japanese animated film that I've never seen before, but I have seen the bike before somewhere on the internet, like a picture of it, and I've kind of remembered it because I just remember liking this design and how kind of futuristic it looked for a bike. The one from the movie I think had a bunch of stickers on it and stuff, which I couldn't there's no way to make those really. I mean, unless you are a super big fan of it, that you make them yourself. But this one's just kind of the pure red all around I made. Pretty happy with it. I have seen it in Ready Player One recently, though, which is one of the reasons I built one myself. And I'm happy enough with it. I have seen some other YouTubers on make videos about their own that all look pretty good, but there's like something about them I didn't really like enough or something that I just wanted to make myself one. And that's what I have here. Is one I made myself. The front was probably the most challenging part of it, and it's what I started on, is trying to get this front wheel to look good, because the real thing, it's hard to tell how it's connected there. It's just a ball and then the bike. So that was challenging to do, but luckily this inverted round tile piece worked really good to make that look on the side. Very well done. Here's the front view of it. You can kind of see it was really tough. Like it's literally just a wheel, though. It's set between studs that are holding it in there. It rolls pretty good. Not as good as like this one that has the rim and everything. I was really trying to get the rim to work with the front, and it just wasn't. So that's what I decided to follow to, was that. And it works pretty good for rolling it, actually. I'm happy with that. The windshield here. I really wish Lego made a windshield that was just straight across instead of going back down, but the way it's angled, I think it works out okay to use. So that's not perfect, but that's pretty much the only windshield piece at this scale that works with it. That's usable and looks good the best. So, also I was able to get the red on the front between the windshield and the tire, which other people weren't able to get. Also have this gray tile here, which is some detail on the bike, and I think it's on the other side, but I wasn't able to fit it in there because the wheel is not connected on this side, but it is on this side, so I had to use a piece there to connect it. I do recommend this not be played with a whole lot because the tire in the front, and also because it's not that strong. Like, this whole thing is held on by one stud, unfortunately, and I couldn't really do anything else to make that better, but it works well enough there that just having it on display or a little bit of play with it would work fine. Here's more side views of the bike, which was really important to get all the unique kind of turns and stuff on the bike and shaping. The images I was seeing and going for with this on the internet were kind of bulky, the bike was, and I'm pretty sure that was straight from some were straight from the movie, but in Ready Player One it's like almost completely different. It was super thin and everything, and but I'm happy with this. And you may notice it's a really large bike, especially when you compare it with a Lego motorcycle. It's just huge, this thing. That's mainly because I was going for using it with 6-stud wide cars, which is what I prefer. If you've seen my channel before, I've said that before, I think. So that's what I was kind of going for. And I'm using these wheels, which is a step up from motorcycle wheels. They're kind of regular large car wheels or something that I use there instead. And yeah, I'm happy with this thing. For the interior stuff, we got a black seat, which some images on the internet had it as a brown seat. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but I think the true color is supposed to be black. And if you want to switch it, you just switch those 3 black pieces to brown, and there you go. It would be a brown seat. I added the gray pieces here to kind of represent the mirrors on the bike, which are supposed to be out a bit more and on these red tiles kind of on the end. Yeah, that's supposed to represent where the mirrors are. It also features a turnable steering. So if you wanted to put it in like a pose or something, you can do that. I do recommend you put like a clip or something on the end to kind of hold it up as like a kickstand, because I don't have one on the bike currently. If you try hard enough, you can kind of get this to balance on that wedge piece there, but it's not that balanced, so I suggest that you add a piece if you want it to be like a kickstand off to the side with the steering turned. So that's just my suggestion there. Does fit a minifigure pretty good. The minifigure sits in that little square, and its legs kind of hit that blue piece there, which is supposed to represent the display of the gauges and things that light up on the real thing. That's kind of where they are. Except a real person would have their legs out a bit on the sides and be a bit different. But for a minifigure, they just fit in that little square there. So that's how it works with Lego minifigures. I'll show you Kaneda in the bike in a bit. Sorry if I pronounce his name wrong. I've always thought his name was Kaneda, but it's actually Kaneda. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, this back wheel is, if you haven't noticed, it's yellow, which is kind of weird, but that's only because I'm using the wheel that has studs on it. And I do have these in red with studs on it, except the hole in the middle isn't, it doesn't have a big enough gap for the Technic pin to fit, which I think will work better, especially with this Technic piece that connects to the brick. So that's kind of what I decided to use there. And if you want, you can kind of look at it as the greenish light that emits from the wheels, which I really, really like that aspect of the bike. I think that's really neat, having the green light emit from it. Oh, come on. So anyways, that's what I went with there. And Lego does make those in red, I think, with the Technic hole in the middle, if you need to get one of those instead. So for putting a minifigure in it, first of all, let me actually show you that this whole thing is on a hinge, so you can actually hinge it down this much and hinge it this much, like pretty extremely. But a piece just popped off of it, unfortunately, right there. Like I said, it's a bit fragile, not too much on the front, so that's good, but yeah. So when you get it kind of open, and then you put the figure's hands this way beforehand to get it to hold on to the handles, it's much easier. And then you just put the steering right into his hands, and there you go. That's what the bike looks like with a figure in it, which I like a lot, actually. He's looking straight forward instead of up in the sky like you see on some bikes, custom bikes, or he's not looking straight down either like you see on some Tron-styled Lego bikes. So I'm happy with how he looks on here. So yeah. So now I'm going to show you kind of a sped up version of me building it up, so you can follow that along if you want to. Or Also, at the very end, I'm going to show you some pictures of what it was like in the build process for this MOC. Which is, I think it would be interesting to some people to kind of see the process of it. Haven't seen a lot of other people do that, and that's something I want to try out on this channel and do new. So I'm going to show some pictures at the end of the process of what it was kind of looking like in design-wise while I was working on it. Also, I'm going to show a parts list too for this thing if you want to screenshot that or pause it there or something, or look at the pieces if you want to order them yourself so you can build this thing. I'm just going to give the parts list available here in the video, not so much in the description.